I booked a one-way ticket to Thailand. I've done a lot of things in my life that many people don't get to do because they chose to do the right thing. You know what I mean? They chose to have a job and a family and go to work every day. I didn't do any of those things. I've just been being a maniac my whole life. So now, like, I'm gonna be turning 40 in February, and it's halftime.
Why are you leaving? What are you doing? How did you come? How did you come to the decision that you don't want to be in the U.S. anymore?
Just look at everything that's happened since 2020. You know, the state of the country in 2020 when everything happened. You know, the C word. You know, since then the cost of living has gone up maybe 200%. Don't quote me on that exactly because I'm not an economist. You know, but it's just
even if they say it's gone up 10 or 20%, it's really actually significant.
No,
we were spending, Jess and I were spending $200 a week for groceries. Now we're spending $350.
Yeah, I seen the TikTok where the kid pulled up his
Amazon.
It was his Walmart grocery order from like 2019 or something like that, and things had gone up like 200-300%.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
You know?
And it wasn't. And sometimes if they hadn't gone up, they actually did go up because they actually would still sell that, but they'd sell less of it, but charge you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's called shrinkflation. Yeah. They would just, you know, instead of being 24 ounces, they would shrink it down to like 15 or 20 ounces, and then they would jack the price up on top of that. So not only are they raising their prices, but they're giving you less of their products.
Yeah, you're raising my price as well. I don't get a dozen hot dogs now. Now I'm getting 10.
Yeah, you know, and I don't see that trend changing anytime soon. You know, I mean, you know, the current political arrangement I happen to agree with. You know, let's just put that where it is. But I don't see things, you know, getting cheaper anytime sooner. I don't see the cost of living going down just because we have, you know, the president who, you know, just because Trump's in office or whatever. But
I think that what I think is funny is that he immediately things have already changed or starting. People are implementing changes automatically.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think the economy is what it is, and it's in real trouble. And he's better for the economy, but it's going over. You know what I'm saying? It's like a building that's coming down. Like you can do a controlled demolition, or you can let it topple over and do more damage. But it's coming down no matter what.
Yeah.
So you know I think he's the better choice for bringing the building down.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's coming down. Like that's what I've been saying. Like it doesn't. And I think I even told you this. I was like, to be honest, for the Republicans, it might have even been better if he didn't win, because it guaranteed a win in 4 years. If he didn't win, because the economy, whoever's in there has to face the fact that we're slipping into a recession. It doesn't matter who's in there. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing you can do. You can offset it a little bit, but it's a problem.
All of those things are already baked into the economy. Yeah, you can't just throw the brakes on everything and just hit the reverse button, you know, and back it up just like, you know. So
there's no solution.
Yeah, it's just, you know, things are just getting more and more expensive here, and I don't really like to work hard. That's another big part of it. Like I'm not, kind of a lazy guy. I don't like to work hard. I kind of just like to do the bare minimum and kind of get by and, you know, kind of live comfortable. You know, I don't have these big dreams of financial success and Lamborghinis and mansions because you have to work too hard for all of that stuff. So I don't really care about it, you know. Plus I'm getting older now, and it's just like, I don't know.
Well, I know when you were working like 60, 70 hours a week at the tattoo place.
Yeah.
But like you said, but I'm not really doing it. I'm really just there waiting for people to come in.
To me, that's not a real job. Tattooing for me has never been a real. That's why I liked it. That's why I liked it so much, and I put in so many hours at the shop. You know, because I could sit there for most of the day and just play on the internet and watch TV and do whatever I want to do, and then occasionally get to do a tattoo. You know, and tattooing is something I enjoy doing. So, you know, I never really felt like that was a job. But, you know, I worked for many, many years in warehouses, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, moving boxes around, driving a forklift, unloading trucks. You know, I worked from the age of probably 17 until I was into my mid-20s at a window company, just doing windows outside here in Florida, working outside, like on construction sites and whatnot. So I've worked hard my whole life, you know, and I'm not a corporate guy, you know, because if I was, I probably could stomach an office job and just sit there for 20 or 30 years and collect my pension, my 401k. And, I think I could see myself, but I'm just not a corporate guy. Not only because of my aesthetic, not only because of my, obviously.
You're saying prior to this.
Well, I just don't have the demeanor for it. I don't have, I don't feel like I have what it takes to be part of the team.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just not that guy. Just because of the way I've grown up, being homeless most of my life, growing up on the streets, and then being in youth facilities from the age of probably 13 until I was 19 years old, pretty consistently every year, 9-10 months out of every year, I just feel like that kind of molded me a certain way. And now I'm 40 years old. We're going to be 40 years old. And I'm just set in my ways, And so I feel like Southeast Asia is kind of more geared towards my demeanor and kind of the things that I want out of life and the goals that I have for myself.
Well, what I'm wondering is how did you get there? I mean, you don't just roll over one day and say, here's where I'm going. I mean, what did you see, a TikTok and then it sent you down a rabbit hole?
Oh yeah, it was a YouTube video. It was, I can't remember the first one I seen. I think it was just some dude walking around, because there's these videos, I don't know if you've ever seen them on YouTube, but there's these videos that they just walk around with a camera.
What's the one guy?
There's no dialogue. They don't talk. They don't say anything.
Yeah.
They just walk with the camera. And I think those are the first videos I started watching of Bangkok and Thailand. And I'm just like, holy
So it was immediately
smokes.
Thailand?
Yeah, it was
because every
Bangkok.
time I've mentioned on this, every time I mentioned during an interview, like, Boseak's going to Thailand, somebody in the comments will be like, he ought to go too, and they always have alternatives.
They say Vietnam. So Vietnam's cheaper than Thailand. The cost of living's a little bit lower. They don't have the infrastructure that Thailand has, the big cities and the luxury apartments. And then you got the Philippines, which is a completely different animal. And the cost of living is kind of similar, but Philippines is kind of getting a little bit more expensive now because people haven't been kind of going to the Philippines for, I don't know, probably since the 80s and 90s. People have been kind of migrating over there, like U.S. expats. The Philippines has a very large U.S. expat community. And so every country does, but especially the Philippines does especially. So it kind of drove the price up on the cost of living in the Philippines. So I just feel like Thailand it kind of seems like it's right for me. The aesthetic, the culture, the people, the economy, the religion, the way things work over there, the way of life. I kind of feel like that's more geared towards how I want to spend, the second half of my life.
You know what we ought to do? Do you want to look at one of those videos where the guy is showing one of the condos?
We can dig one up. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Can you want to find one, like a short one where he just takes the guy up and goes? Actually, he'll go on to the 20th floor of a brand new building, and it's $480 to live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath.
So so apartments over there, $480, $500 will get you a decent place, but $600 to $800 will get you a nice luxury place.
Like living in a place down like a 1-bedroom downtown Tampa.
It's the square footage is what's really killing you, because all the apartments are really nice. All of the condos are really nice in certain parts of Bangkok. Now you can get the older buildings, which are way cheaper, but you don't have the amenities. You're not 35th floor overlooking the whole city.
Right.
So a lot of those places are, I say $600 to $800, but then again, it depends on the square footage, the square meters. And I've had to learn the goddamn metric system since going into all this, because that's what they use over there. So I've had to learn. We don't use it over here for any reason. There's no reason for me to use the metric system here. People just learn the metric system, just to be like, I know the metric system or whatever. But, I guess over there, all they use is the metric. So everything's in kilometers, everything's square meters. So I had to do all the math in my head and learn all of the equations. But so I was
gonna say, we looked at some of these places that were 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and they were in maybe a building that was 2 stories high, maybe 3 stories high, and they were maybe 4 or 5 blocks away from the beaches downtown. But yeah, they're only 2 or 3 story highs, and maybe they're built in the 90s or 20 years ago, and they look like a regular kind of apartment, right? But those you can get for $400 a month. But you're right. But it's
the older buildings.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm saying.
the
They're
single,
older.
they're about 2 or 3 stories.
Right.
You can get those for $250, $300 a month.
But if you want to be in the 30th floor,
If you want a high-rise luxury condo, you're going to have to spend between $600 and $800 US every month, which, I mean, is dog shit here. You can't get a hotel room for that much. You can't go live at the Motel 6 for $800 a month here.
Remember the one bedroom I used to live in?
Yes.
Okay. So that one bedroom, a buddy of mine came over named Troy, had come there to buy a painting from me, and he looked at he went in the building. It was like he's like, this apartment's exactly the same size as mine, and I was paying $1,400 a month, $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And it was exact same layout as his, but he was in downtown Tampa on like the 15th or 20th floor of one of those places on Channel Side, and I think he was paying $3,500, $3,700. He goes, I'm telling you, he goes, I got the same flooring. Those are the same. He was like, this is my layout exactly. But he was on like the 15th, 20th floor, something like that. And it was like, oh my God, it was an extra like $2,000 and change to live there. So I know for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, a brand new, nice 1-bedroom, 1-bath, downtown Tampa, about 3 years ago, it was like, 3,200.
Yeah, double that now.
Yeah.
It's because things have gone
so
just
let's
astronomically
say let's say
skyrocketed.
4,000. So you're looking at 4,000 compared to 800.
Yeah.
That's
for $4,000 a month, you could live like, that's everything. You could live like high society. They call it haiso in Thailand. They call it haiso. You could live like haiso. You could live like high society. Yeah. And by the way, the YouTube channel is called Project Bangkok, and it's one of the guys. He does a lot of condo tours. He does a lot of Bangkok content, obviously. But this is like one of the first videos I watched of his, and this I think this video made me fall in love with this building. So can't live like that here in the U.S. for
Ashton.
Yeah, it's called the Ashton Asok in Rama 9. Yeah, it's nice. He usually does the area and the grounds and the facilities before he actually gets to the unit. Look at the pool on like the 40th floor. I mean, just look at the surrounding area.
Yeah.
It's like being in Manhattan, New York. Like,
There's
only like one.
I was thinking Brickell.
I mean, imagine working out there every morning. I mean, this is luxury. This is a luxury apartment. This isn't. I mean, look at that right next to your bed. You wake up and you just got the view of the entire city. Well, that view was kind of shit, but 11 million baht, which is like, I don't know, $90,000. So a lot of these units are for sale. You can buy. Foreigners aren't allowed to buy houses or own land, but we can buy condos.
Does this come furnished?
Oh yeah, and almost every apartment or condo over there comes furnished already. TV, couches, beds, silverware, dishes, everything. I mean, you get the idea. It's I mean, like this is like on the higher end.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know how much higher you can get than this, unless you just get more square footage.
Yes, and see that's the thing is square footage is basically. So the lower in price you go, you're still going to get the same quality.
Right.
Your
Just
square
small
footage is going to be a lot smaller.
But you know how much square footage do you need?
Yeah, a lot of those condos in Bangkok are shoeboxes for $200 or $300 a month. But I mean, it's like you're on the 30th floor. I mean, yeah, it's only like 35 square meters, which is like, I don't know, like 400 square feet, 425 square feet or something like that, which isn't a lot of space. But it's like,
but if you're using the amenities, if they have an office, they have offices,
they have co-working spaces where it's like, and, you know, and this is all super high end shit, you know. So yeah, that's just like the higher end stuff.
Okay. You know? So how do you I guess the first question is, how do you figure out how to go there? Because I'm assuming you just can't, like if you're living in the UK, you can't say, you know what, I'm gonna go live in America. Like that's not that easy. Like there's
America is everybody has to get a visa before they come here. You can't just unless you show up at the southern border, then they just you can just come right in. Right. But if you come on like an airplane or something like that, then you need a visa.
Right. So what about
Thailand is one of the only countries that allow. I think they allow like 15 or 20 different countries to come in visa free. Like you just show up.
Right.
And if they decide to let you in, they give you like a tourist visa, which is good for 60 days. And then you can get that extended to 90 days. Once you're in the country, you pay like a little bit extra, like a couple thousand baht or whatever. and then you get that extended to 90 days, but then you have to leave the country. And then when you come back in, you can restart the tour. It's called a tourist visa. Yeah, which is like the easiest and best option just to show up and to get into the country.
So the plan is you come in for 60, but you stay, you pay a little bit, you stay till 90, you leave for a day, you fly back in.
Or you can even do border runs where you go to Laos. There's like a whole system where there's services where you get on the bus, they drive you to the Laos border, you walk through customs, and then you walk in one door, and then you come right back in the other and get on the bus and go back to Bangkok.
And it just starts, and now you're back there for 60
and then it starts at
days.
Another 60, 90 days again. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But that's, if you want to stay in the country long term, that's kind of inconvenient, because you got to do it every 60 and 90 days. You got to leave the country, and that's just going to cost money over time. And, the more of a life you build for yourself over there, like, oh, fuck, next week I got to go and do this thing, But so there's different visa options once you get in the country for people who want to stay long term. Obviously, there's something called a DTV visa. It's called a Destination Thailand visa. And that's for like digital nomads, people who work online, but you have to prove that you have so much money in your bank account, Thai baht in a Thai bank account. I think the visa itself costs $5,000, and then there's a bunch of other stipulations. But then you can remain in the country up to 1 year before you have to renew the visa again. No, I'm sorry.
For $5,000.
No, I'm sorry.
Take the bus run.
No, I'm sorry. The DTV visa is 5-year visa.
Oh, okay.
It's a 5-year visa, multiple entries, so you can leave the country and come back. And that's like the best option, And then there's like a retirement visa for people who are over the age of 50 I think it's over the age of 50. You can get the retirement visa where you're just there indefinitely.
Can you bring your wife if she's younger than 50?
Yes. Yeah, you sure can. And you guys can both get the retirement visa, and then, you have to have like 1 million baht in the bank, which is only like $30,000, 30,000 US dollars. So every year when you go in for your renewal, you have to show them that you are making money and you have money in the bank.
So wait, so how much is it you have to have in the bank?
Like 1 million baht or something like that.
How much
it's
is
like
that?
$30,000, $30,000 US.
And you came in, you could stay there, and I could buy a condo for 100 grand and stay indefinitely. I got to get rid of Colby because it's going to be all StreamYard. I don't need Colby anymore. So, boy, the YouTube would take a hit, wouldn't it? The channel would, if I did all StreamYard, that'd be over. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, but what do you need every month? 10 grand?
You just need one Diddy video.
One good Diddy video.
One good Diddy video a month.
One Diddy StreamYard.
Yeah.
So
that's the cost of living is just like I said, it's a quarter of what it is here, and what you get for your money is a lot different than what you get for your money here.
Right.
A cheeseburger and French fry here is $22 goddamn dollars.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Like what are we doing here? When you go to McDonald's and for 2 people to eat, it's almost $40 something.
Right.
Like what is this?
So so what is it there? If you want to go out and go to a Thai restaurant, not even fast food, just go to a Thai restaurant.
So what the Western menu is going to have Western prices pretty much over there. But if you eat like a local, if you eat just Thai food, go out for just like a plate of pad Thai, which is like chicken rice with an egg and some noodles and some other shit.
Right.
It's like $2.50, $3 a meal, $4 a meal.
Do you get that meal?
What do you mean?
If you're a U.S. like they're going to look at you and know you're a round guy.
There's not. No. They don't give us one. Well, sometimes they do. Farang. It's called they call foreigners farangs, like
right.
FARANG in Thai. So they do have farang pricing.
Like pale face. No. Or is that it a compliment?
The Thai is actually like the white skin. So they don't go out in the sun. They don't sunbathe. They don't, because like to have like the whiter the skin in Thailand is like the better.
Right.
Yeah, they're super racist over there. Like I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like they don't like the blacks or the browns too much in Thailand. They like the whites. It is what it is. Go do your own research. Google it. Go watch a couple of YouTube videos. It is what it is. Like I'm not saying.
What people don't realize,
I'm not telling tales outside of school.
No.
Here.
Well, what people don't realize in the United States, what people don't realize is that most countries are. You go to that country and live there, and right away you'd be like, "My God, you guys are racist." Like, if you're fat, they'll tell you you're fat. If you're not attractive, they'll say that. They'll call you. I mean, they're just blatant. And typically they're racist. Like you're not married.
Yeah,
you're
we
not
have the woke offended culture here, and it just permeates through every aspect of our life over here in America. But you go to Japan, and they'll have stores they'll call fatty. And that's where the fat people, like, it's crazy. Like, you just don't understand, you know. So we really do live in a bubble here in the United States. We really do live in a bubble.
So so you're going to go and probably initially do the 60 to 90 day route, right? You're going to stay for 60, maybe go 90, pay a little bit, go 90, and then do the loop. Figure out what's the easiest thing because you're traveling initially. Right?
Well, my plan initially is to come into the country, do the 90 days, and I want to see all of Thailand. You know, so what I've been doing over the past year is I've kind of just been, every time I get $200 or $300 saved up, I'll pay for like a week in like a resort in some part of Thailand. So when I get there, I have a week in Bangkok paid for at like a really nice hotel. And then I'm flying down to southern Thailand to Phuket. And I got a 7-day stay paid for at a resort there. And I'm going to check out Phuket and all like the surrounding little islands and stuff for that week while I'm there, like Krabi and Koh Samui, Koh Samet, all those little places that are down in at the southern tip of Thailand. Then I'm going to fly from there. I'm going back to Bangkok for a few days. And then I'm going to a little like, it's Imso. There's a little beachside town called Hua Hin. And it's kind of small. It's very small. It's on the tip. I'm on the other part of the world here. I'm trying to get my bearings. So it's on the western side of the kind of in between Bangkok and like, it's about 2 hours south outside of Bangkok. It's called Hua Hin. So I'm going to go there. I got like 4 or 5 days planned in Hua Hin. So I'm going to see that whole little section of Thailand. And then I'm going north to Chiang Mai. So like Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, all those like super northern countries where it's like mountains and jungle, you know, and like rural, like little villages, like rice villages. There's no skyscrapers. There's none of that shit. It's the boonies. No. It's the boonies. Yeah, it's the boondocks. So I'm gonna go up there, and then from there, I think I'm coming back to Bangkok, and then I'm going to Pattaya, Thailand, and I'm gonna hang out in Pattaya for 4 or 5 days, and then that should bring me just about to my 90-day mark. And then after that, I'm gonna figure out like which route is the best way to go for like a long-term
where to stay,
visa.
Like what you're saying between Bangkok and Pattaya?
No. I'm definitely gonna live in Bangkok.
Oh, why not? No. You were looking at Pattaya.
So I grew up in Miami.
Right.
I grew up in Miami. I'm used to Miami Beach, and Pattaya is a beach town. It's a tourist town. You know what I mean? I grew up in a tourist town.
Right.
From Miami Beach. You know, so it's like I don't want to. Like I'm used to living at the beach, and so I know a lot of people that move to Pattaya and like Phuket and those places are from like the UK, where they get like 5 days of sunshine all year.
Right.
Or if they come from the US, they're from the Midwest, places that don't have beaches. I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
I grew up on the beach. I'm used to the ocean. You know, I like big cities. That's where I've never really lived in like a giant metropolis. You know, outside of like Miami, which is like, I don't know, like I guess the downtown area of Miami's got big buildings and shit, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like Tampa. Like, sure, there are spots you can stand in Tampa and see nothing but big buildings. But if you walk 2 blocks, you're out of that.
Yeah,
like, it's nothing like going to Manhattan or Chicago or you
like
go there and you're like, this is insanity.
Like even those cities don't even compare to Bangkok.
Right.
Like so if you take Manhattan, downtown Chicago, and like downtown Dallas, and you put them all together, that's only like one little section of Bangkok. Like it's such a massive city, and the whole city's developed like that. It's skyscrapers, and they've got like 3 or 4 different forms of like public transportation. They have like an above ground, which is called the MRT, and they've got like a subway below ground that's called the I don't remember what that one called. And then they got like the buses, and they've got like our version of I guess what you would call Uber over there, which is like Grab, and they have Go. So like if you order a Go, like some dude will just pull up on a moped and you hop on the back of the moped and wrap your arms around him and take off. You know what I mean? Take off to your destination. Like it's just wild, you know? Yeah, it's a whole different system over there.
So when you were looking into all this, you were concerned about, you were like, I don't even know if I can get a passport because you were a felon. First you were a felon, thought that was a concern. But you were able
so
to
I've had a passport, and then when I went to prison, the first time I had to give him my passport was even part of my stipulation. Like on day 1, when I went to the pretrial services, like when I reported after I got out on bond, they made me bring my passport with me.
All right.
And I never got it back.
Yeah.
I never got my passport back. I don't know what happened to it. So I wasn't even.
You didn't even know if you were.
I didn't know if I
able
could
to.
get one. Like,
Well, I've heard people say, like, well, I'm a felon, I can't get a passport. It's like, that's not the case.
That's BS.
No.
I've been to federal prison and I got my passport, no problem.
And I've also heard people say that you can't get a passport, like, if you owe like back taxes to the federal government. And that's true. That is true.
And child support.
Child support, back taxes, and like I have a federal judgment against me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're paying your judgment, or you're paying, like, you can be in arrears in taxes. You can be in arrears. But if you're on a payment plan, they'll give you the passport and let you go. It's when you owe $5 million or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you owe $50,000 and you haven't paid in 5 years, and you're not like, fuck you, I'm not paying. Then they go, oh, no. Well, then you can't get a passport.
Yeah.
But
They'll hold you hostage here in this country.
Right. Right. But you got a passport because you were sweating. You were like, I don't know.
Not only did I get it, it came like
pretty quickly.
like that. It came like I got it a month or two before I even thought I was going to get it.
Yeah, because they tell you 3 months, don't they? Tell you like 90 days.
They said
or something like
3
that?
or 4 months.
Yeah.
And then it came in like I think like
2
5 weeks.
Okay.
It was like 5 weeks. It was like a month and a half. It came, and then the day my passport came, I booked a one-way ticket to Thailand.
Right.
So I got my plane ticket that day. My passport came.
How much was the ticket? Because that was
But it was about 900
6 or 8 months ago.
It was $960
almost $1,000
for a one way.
And that was 8 months ago, right?
Yeah, about 9 months ago.
Oh my god!
Round trip. If you're booking a round trip ticket to Thailand, you're gonna come out of about $1,500. It's a 26-hour flight, and I got to catch 3 planes. I got to go from here to Atlanta, and then to South Korea, and then from South Korea to Bangkok. Yeah, the longest flight's 16 hours from Atlanta to Korea. I'm on a plane for 16 hours. And then when I get to Korea, I got a 2-hour layover and then another 6-hour flight to Bangkok. So yeah, it's going to be,
A trek.
it's going to be a trek.
All
But
right.
I'm fully prepared.
What, do you have
Yeah.
your neck pillow?
I have my neck pillow. I've got my iPad. I've got movies downloaded that I've never seen before, so.
Let me think. Here's the thing. Like, you're saying this is permanent, and the game plan is to get there and start making videos.
Yeah, I'm going to work on the YouTube channel.
Right.
Obviously, I'm going to be vlogging daily, hopefully. The day in here, 2 are here for myself because, the thing is, I don't want to go over there and experience everything for the first time through the lens of a camera. Or, you know what I mean? Like filming and vlogging. Like, I want to be able to kind of just put the camera away and aside and not worry about filming and then just kind of enjoy myself and experience the culture. So there's going to be days where I'm just not going to film just because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to live through a camera lens. But no, yeah, it's going to be permanent. Like, I don't plan on coming back. I mean, unless apartments, unless the real estate here hits the shitter and I can come back here and live for relatively nothing, which that's never going to happen. I mean, things are only going to continue to get more and more and more expensive.
It's not going to get down to Bangkok prices.
No, it'll never get down to, like you said, yeah. Back to the 90s.
So keep waiting for Colby to chime in. All right. So you're thinking go there.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking start a YouTube channel. Because right now there's a bunch of YouTube channels that do this same thing.
So I'm not going to start a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. I have like 13,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I've had my YouTube channel for 5 years now.
But you don't have anything on Bangkok. Like, you're revamping your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Unless you're going to start interviewing
I'm not
people.
starting from scratch.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying
With 0 subscribers, that's bananas, dude. Going over there with just starting a channel from nothing, dude. That's quite the undertaking. But I think since I already have a following kind of on YouTube, ish, just because I've been doing content for 5 years, and I've got, like I said, 13,000 subscribers currently. And yeah, once I start putting out, YouTube or Thailand YouTube content, then I'm sure the demographic that I'm looking for, I'll find, and the channel will grow.
So what is the demographic? What are those YouTube videos going to be?
Yeah, so I'm not going to be like one of those, this is how you live in Southeast Asia kind of channels. I'm just going to, wake up every day and vlog my own.
I would do some
my own
videos.
life.
I would do some videos on just like, because to me,
Well, no, like this is what it costs me to live in Thailand,
Right,
because but that's I've watched so many videos, and I've gotten one guy was like, oh, I can't live here for under $3,500 a month, and I watched another video where one guy was surviving on like $850 a month and living just fine. So it all depends on the individual and like how you live, how do you eat, are you a drinker? Because if you're a drinker and you like to go out to the bars there, that's going to swallow up all your money.
Right.
One of those little Thai girls are going to get a hold of you, and next thing you know, you're going to be at the ATM every 15 minutes. So, I mean, that's how it goes over there.
What's like what are some pitfalls that people have fallen into like moving to Thailand? Like
Oh, there's a lot of negatives. Like so the guys who have no self-control, Thailand is the worst possible place for you to go because you will go bankrupt. Unless you have an unlimited supply of money, you're going to go bankrupt pretty fast. Because you don't realize how cheap everything is, so you're just going to be spending and spending and spending. And especially, like I said, when those little Thai girls get a hold of you and you're at the bar every day drinking, that's one of the main things that kind of just ruin people going over there.
Is that what the videos the guys say?
Oh, there's so many videos. Like, listen, the whole dating and like women's scene over there is treacherous.
Right.
Like those girls know what they're doing, first of all, because they've been doing it for a while. And you will get absolutely rinsed if you're not careful over there. Like, so a lot of these guys so I'm not, it is what it is. Like a lot of guys go over there specifically for the women.
Right.
I mean, yeah, the cost of living is one thing. Yeah, cheap food, cheap accommodations, you can travel around. But let's be honest, a lot of these guys are just going there straight for the women.
Right.
The passport bros thing is kind of taken off in the past few years. And a lot of these guys going over there haven't really been getting a lot of attention from women their whole lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they've
Right.
never been really in love. They've never been with like a really beautiful girl before. So they go over there and these girls get a hold of one of those guys and it's over for them. It's over. They're calling people borrowing money. They're maxing out all their credit cards. They'll fly back home and take out a second mortgage on a rental property, sell all their classic cars they got in the garage and go back over there. They'll build her a house. They'll buy her a car. And then she'll tell them to fuck off after like 3 years.
Right. And there's nothing they can do because
There's nothing you can do?
Because I know we were watching a video where like the guy was like, he thinks the girl's 100% in love with him. And he buys a business for... he can't own the business.
No.
So he puts it in her name, but it's okay. They're in love. And then brings her family in to help work the business. And then the business starts doing well. He builds a house for her and him.
Yeah.
And then one day she starts kind of picking fights.
So there's a YouTube channel called Thai Talk with Dan. He's a guy from the UK, and the whole premise of his YouTube channel is that people who have been there and have gotten rinsed by these girls,
Right.
They'll write out their story and send it to him, and he'll just read it on his podcast.
It's horrible.
And I've heard one after another after another. I mean, this one guy, it's happened to him 3 different times with 3 different girls. Like he'll build him a house, marry him, build him a house. This one girl, he built their parents a house, bought land, built her parents a house, built them a house, put her daughter through school, paid for her college over there, bought them all vehicles, and then she divorced him. And there was nothing he could do, Thai law. Because in Thailand, foreigners can't own property, can't buy land, you can't have any kind of say-so in their political system, voting or whatever.
Right.
You can't own a business. Like you can't go there and just start a business and all that. And a lot of people gripe about all of this, but I agree with all of this. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's 100% exactly what they should be doing, because Thailand wouldn't be Thailand if they didn't have all of these measures put in place.
Well, that's
because
what
you
they
have
should be
all
doing.
the foreigners would go over there, they'd buy up all the property, they'd buy up all the land, they'd start getting involved in the political system, and then you'd have a situation like you do in the UK.
Yeah.
Where-
Well, I was going to say slowly in the U.S., but yeah, that's how I think it should be in the U.S. But yeah, in the U.K., they've lost. It's over.
They're done.
That whole country's gone.
It's gone. The Indians and all the foreigners came in, they just, it's it. They're
Allow
done.
them to vote, allow them to be prime minister.
They took over they changed all the laws in their own favor. They took all the expensive land. They drove the economy into the shitter. They brought all of their own people over there, took all the jobs. Yeah. So yeah, it's like, so that's
even if the native-born UK citizens rebelled right now, there's nothing. They're outnumbered. There's nothing.
Well, they already have been. They've been rioting and setting fires. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You're a minority now in your own country, and you let it happen.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And the Thais are just going to not let that happen over there. Because Thailand, like I said, it wouldn't be Thailand. So I agree with that. I agree with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can go over there. Luckily, I have a Thai girlfriend that I've been talking to for about 6 months now. And, so things will be a little bit different when I get over there. I'm probably going to get married and do all that. She might take me for everything I have and tell me to go fuck myself at the end. But, you have to roll the dice. You have to gamble. I'm a gambling man. Never with my money, only with my life and my future, it's just, it is what it is. Like I said, I got the visa. I got a plan. I've been saving a little bit. The past year I tried to save money, working DoorDash, but it just didn't work out for me. Worst job I've ever had in my entire life. If any of you out there are thinking about doing DoorDash, just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's bullshit.
Let's see. Well, I mean, it's bullshit for a full-time job, but there are some people that will fit like 2 hours in here.
Yeah, if you want to just make $20 or $30 here or there, like if you need an extra $50 or something,
work out for 'em.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great opportunity. But trying to do it full time, it's a joke.
Yeah, I saw this clip just last night of someone doing DoorDash, and he's living in his car doing DoorDash.
I watched that guy too.
But he actually makes more money off social media. He's like, I made this much money off DoorDash today, but really I made $400 or $500 off YouTube, TikTok, whatever.
I've seen that. I made $62 off TikTok, or I made $110 on Instagram. And he adds it all up.
And he's trying to save up like 50, 60 grand. He's going to start building a tiny home.
60,000 to buy it. And he lives in his car. He DoorDashes 12 hours a day.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Sleep in his car in Seattle or something like that.
If you sleep hot at night, you know how disruptive that can be. Whether you're having trouble falling asleep, you're waking up sweating in the middle of the night, or all of the above. That's where GhostBed can help. As the makers of the coolest beds in the world, GhostBed is your go-to for cooling mattresses, cooling pillows, and cooling bedding. From their signature Ghost Ice fabric to patented technology that adjusts to your body's temperature, every Ghost Bed mattress is designed with cooling in mind. So whether you want a plusher mattress that cushions your shoulders and hips, or a firm option with exceptional support, your Ghost Bed will keep you cool and comfortable all night long. When you purchase a Ghost Bed mattress, your comfort is guaranteed. You can try out your mattress for 101 nights, risk-free, to make sure it's the right fit for you. Plus, they offer free shipping, and most items are shipped within 24 hours. If you're not sure which Ghost Bed is right for you, check out their mattress quiz. You'll answer a few questions and get a personalized recommendation. Even better, our listeners can get 50% off site-wide for a limited time. Just visit ghostbed.com/Cox and use the code COX at checkout. Again, that's ghostbed.com/Cox with the code COX at the checkout to save a whopping 50% off site-wide.
There have been very few times when I've almost lost my mind in my life. And over this past year, doing DoorDash every day is one of it's one of these times in my life where I'm going to look back and be like, I was this close to losing my sanity.
I know this is a little off topic of the subject, but so what is like some of the most insane things or like frustrating things about it?
DoorDash?
Yeah.
You'll drive for 8-10 hours a day and make $80, $60-$80. You'll get to a restaurant and you'll have to wait 15 or 20 minutes for the food to even get brought out to you. And they put all of these measures in place so that you can't, like when you get there and if you're waiting too long for the food, like you can't just say, oh, I don't want to do this order and cancel it and leave the restaurant. Like you have to wait there for the food and there's no way for you to go back on the app, like to get out of it. I mean, you can, but like so there's like this point system and like the lower your points go, the shittier orders you'll get. You know what I mean? So like if you like just, so let's say an order comes up and it's for like $4 and it's like 13 miles and it's like a McDonald's order. You're like, I'm not doing this order. You can go fuck yourself. I'm not doing this one. So you just pass on it, which you have the right to do. You can pick and choose the orders you want. But if you pass on too many orders, your acceptance rate will drop and they'll only give you shitty orders. Like all of your orders will be $2, $3, $4, and you'll never see an order over $4. So the higher your acceptance rate goes, in theory, which I've tested this and it's bullshit. So the higher your acceptance rate goes, you're supposed to get the bigger orders. Say you'll get an order for like $20 or whatever. Right. Well, those are good orders. Like if I get an order for like $20, dude, that just made my day.
Right.
You know? But it doesn't always work like that, you know? So it's just like, and then they'll have you driving, like I was driving probably 3,000 miles, like 1,500 miles a week, 1,600 miles a week. Because I would go out at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and I would stay out until sometimes 3:30, sometimes 4:30, but usually around 5:30, 6 o'clock is when I would come home. And I would do that 7 days a week. So I'm driving 1,600 miles a week for $320. $450. Come on, dude. It's frustrating as fuck, you know? And then like sometimes you can't find the address. You'll pull into an apartment complex and the address they give you is the number that's on their door. I don't have a building number. I don't know where this at. So now you're driving around this apartment complex for 30 fucking minutes trying to deliver for a $4 Wendy's order. Dude, it's horse shit. It's absolute horse shit. And and then the road ragers, like, dude, people here in Florida, unbelievable. They don't let you merge. They cut you off. They speed. Like the speed limit here in Florida is just a recommendation.
Right.
It's just a suggestion. Nobody goes. So if the speed limits say, what's it out here on 56, 55? 50, 45? Yeah. I don't know what it is because nobody drives it.
55, I think. No, I think 55 or 65.
If you're not doing 30 miles over speed limit, they drive this close to your bumper.
Right.
Like if you're not driving as fast as the person behind you thinks you should be driving, they'll drive this close to your bumper. And I'm not exaggerating. Like that's not me being, going off on a tangent here. These motherfuckers will get this close to your rear bumper and road rage on you. Like tailgate the fuck out of you until you either get over or you slam on the brakes and they smash into the back of you and you cause a major accident. So you got to deal with that all day long. And it's just one thing after another. Like one, and like you'll go out one day and you'll have every order will be a problem. You'll show up to the restaurant and some asshole will just come and grab your order before you got there. So now I got to get on the phone with customer service. I got to tell them that somebody already picked up the order. That's a 15 or 20 minute ordeal. Then every time they're like, well, can you just ask the restaurant to remake the order? Are you kidding me? This restaurant's smashed. It's a line around the corner. It's like a 45-minute wait just to even talk to somebody to get a table. And you want me to ask them to redo the order now and I have to wait here for another hour? Come on, dude. For $9? Because I'm only making like $8 or $9 on this order. Horse shit, dude. Horse shit.
So moving to another country, how much are you packing? How much are you bringing with you?
How much can you bring with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm only taking one duffel bag and a backpack. Yeah, I'm a light traveler. I don't believe in, I'm not one of those guys that shows up at the airport with like 15 or 20 suitcases, bringing 5 pairs of underwear, 5 pairs of socks, 5 t-shirts, actually 6, 3 black, 3 white, 2 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of shoes, my toothbrush, my deodorant, some soap, and then, my laptop and my MacBook and my iPad.
Is there a max amount you can bring?
And you could bring as much shit as you want, but you're going to have to pay for all those bags to go up underneath the plane. You could bring 30 bags if you want. You're going to have to check every single one of those bags, and they all have to be under 50 pounds, I think, 40 pounds.
Day one.
To get them out of the airport.
Day one, like what's your plane landing? You land in Thailand, like what's the first thing you're doing? Where are you going?
Get checked in at the hotel. And then depending on how I feel, I don't know how bad I'm going to be jet lagged because I've never, 26 hours, I've never really been on this kind of crazy flights before. I don't know how it's going to affect me.
What about cell service? What about, like for your cell phone? Does your phone number switch over?
No. You got to get a SIM in country. Yeah, you got to get a SIM either at the airport or, outside of the airport or whatever. But I already have all that kind of laid. I have so much like laid in front of me. Like I'm not just getting there and be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
I'm going to wing it.
Yeah. No, like as soon as I get to the airport, I got somebody meeting me at the airport that is from Bangkok, speaks the language. So there, there's going to be no like getting ripped off by taxi drivers outside the airport, which is extremely common for people who just show up there and have never been there before. And like I'm just, go to the hotel, check in, which is up on Khao San Road, which Khao San Road is a part of Bangkok. It's extremely popular with all of like the backpackers, so it's like very busy. There's a lot of tourists, the super touristy area. And I decided to stay there because I wanted to kind of get that kind of vibe going in, like as soon as I get there. You know, so yeah, like I said, I don't know. It depends on how I feel when I get there. If I'm not jet lagged, I'm just gonna go out probably all night and film, because they're 12 hours ahead of us. So night PM there is AM here for us. So it's gonna take me a while to get my, what do they call that? My circadian rhythm back, you know, in line with the nighttime and daytime over there. So when I get over there, like I'm gonna be used to being up all night. I'm gonna have to probably stay up all night for the first couple of days until I get the equilibrium, you know, kind of back in check.
What about the other YouTubers, the ones we always watch?
There's a handful of YouTubers, in Bangkok, well, in Thailand that I watch a lot of them. One dude, his name's Wayno's Adventures. I love his videos.
Is that the one we watched?
He's an Australian dude. He's the Australian with the mullet, kind of heavier set with the chipped tooth. He doesn't give a shit.
Is this the one that was chased by the kids?
No, that's Hashtag Brady.
Oh, he made this video. He made the mistake of
India,
giving these little kids some money, and boy, let me tell you, next thing you know, there's 20 of them just stalking him, just chasing him through the
streets.
He's running.
He hopped on like a little tuk-tuk, and they were chasing the tuk-tuk down, jumping on the back of it, holding on to the tuk-tuk.
Yeah, it was
wild.
But
that was India.
It wasn't like a block either, bro. He went like a mile or so. These kids
it was like a 15-minute ride, and
and they were still there.
You got 6-8-year-olds on the back of the rickshaw. It's pretty wild. But that's India. No, so Wayno's Adventures is one.
But he's been to Thailand, right?
Who?
The guy you were just the
Hashtag.
Yeah.
So there's a channel called Hashtag Brady, which is he goes all over the world.
Oh, okay.
But I first started watching him in Thailand. Oh, okay. So his Thailand series when he was in Thailand is when I first started watching his channel.
All right.
Because I was watching Thailand videos. So yeah, and then there's another guy, Keys.1, another Australian guy. His videos are like super clean. It's like super clean cut. You can tell they're you know, he probably writes out the scripts before he does it. He plays around with different camera angles, super polished, you know, very, very well put together, and like the B-roll and the music and everything's well crafted. And
is he the guy we
so
watched him?
There's different spectrums of the YouTubers that are over there. Yeah. There's guys like Keys who does like very, very, very well, you know, manuscripted, crafted, put together videos that present themselves well, and they're fun to watch. And then you got like on the other end of the spectrum, you've got guys like Wayno who just like, you know,
he's a maniac.
Dude's just an absolute maniac.
Says ridiculous, hilarious.
No, that's
shit.
Hashtag Brady.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're thinking of Hashtag.
Okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of Hashtag's an absolute maniac.
Yeah.
He does videos where he just gets blackout drunk in every city he goes to, and that'll be the title of the video. Blackout drunk in Barcelona, blackout drunk in Amsterdam, blackout drunk in Bangkok, blackout drunk. And he does. He gets he's on the ground, he's puking everywhere. Like, he's just an absolute maniac. And that's why every video he puts out gets 500,000 views, and everywhere he goes, people recognize him. Everywhere he goes, doesn't matter what city he's in, he could be on top of a building where there's like a rope swing going. Like, he went, like the other day he was in Germany, I believe, where they do like the big Christmas thing, because like in Cologne, Germany, or like the biggest Christmas on planet.
Okay.
Well, I guess he was there, and there's some kind of swing up on the top of the building where it's like you get in a harness and it swings out off the ledge and comes back. He's walk up there, he's waiting for his turn in line. The guy swinging is like, "Is that Hashtag? Yeah. Hashtag Brady." Like, it's insane how noticeable and recognizable this guy is everywhere he goes. But, you know, it's because he puts out that crazy, crazy content. I don't think I'll be doing those kinds of things, just simply because I'm not a party animal like that anymore. You know, I partied for like 2 decades pretty much, and now I'm like into my 40s. I don't drink. You know, I'm not going to be out at the strip clubs every night and all that shit. Like, those videos do well, and that content's fun to watch, but I don't think I want to make that kind of content. Right. You know what I mean? I just want to live a normal life, to be honest with you. You know, and that's part of the reason why I'm going over here, is because I feel like I can just live a normal life without having to always be stressed about an $1,800 a month rent on a 1-bedroom apartment. You know,
plus electric, plus water,
plus food,
cable, plus food.
You know, car payment. I'm gonna have a car note. I'm gonna have a cable bill. I'm gonna have a phone bill.
Insurance.
You know.
Yeah, car insurance.
And if you want to date or have a girlfriend, that's going to be an extra $300 or $400 every single month for whatever, you know, miscellaneous. And for me, I'm just too lazy to do all of that over here. And I'm being completely honest. Like, I just, you know, I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't have the skills to bring in that big income here in the United States. You know, because unfortunately for me, if I want to earn a lot of money here, I'm going to have to work really hard physically. You know, that's just my option. You know, like I don't have a PhD. I didn't go to college. I mean, I went to college, but I got my degree in graphic design,
right?
Which I'm not even using. You know, because all those jobs got shipped over to India, and you know now you can't make any money doing graphic design here in the United States unless you own your own company and you get people working for you, and
then you got a bunch of people from India working for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you're outsourcing it to India, so it's just like, you know, what are we doing here?
Yeah, all the guys I know that are making big money on editing are outsourcing it to somewhere else. They're managing it here. Yeah. So it looks like you're the one doing everything, but you're really just managing a bunch of guys that are in another country.
Yeah. And listen, I love it here in America. You know, I'm not leaving because I don't like it here. I love it here in America. I mean, if I had it my way, I'd get me a trailer home, a goddamn muscle car, and a bass boat on a couple acres. And honestly, that's all I really need. But even that is outside of what I feel like I can accomplish here. You know, I'd be 55, 60 years old before I would even be able to have that. And that's, you know, that's not really wanting a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Well, I was going to say, and at the rate things are going up, that may never be possible.
Exactly.
Unless the economy crashes and everything takes a nosedive, and then how do you make a living here?
Yeah, I'm American. You know, I like fishing, I like hunting. You know what I mean? I like going out west and going on vacation. But it's like, dude, the crime here in this country has just become unreal. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, no, because I never leave the house. So.
Well, yeah, but you never leave the house. But it's like. Say I want to go somewhere on vacation. Say I want to go to like Atlanta, or I want to go to Dallas and I want to go on vacation. You know, it's like you can't feel safe. You don't feel safe in the large cities anymore in America. You can't just, if I want to go out at 3:00 in the morning and just go run errands and go do shit, I got to worry about getting robbed. I got to worry about becoming the victim of a violent crime if I leave my house after 10 p.m. anywhere in the United States. Any major city in the United States, you have to worry about becoming the victim of a violent crime if you're leaving your house after 10 p.m. And to me, that's no way to live. I don't want to live like that.
What's the crime situation in Bangkok or Thailand?
There's crime. Like, I'm not going to say there isn't any crime. You know, people get murdered and stuff over there, but it's like, you don't have to really worry about it. Like, there's the crime is so low in Southeast Asia because the punishment for crime over there is swift and severe. You know what I mean? Like, you don't fuck around over there. Like, you get caught like stealing, or you get caught like, I don't know, hitting somebody over the head with like a pipe wrench or something like that and taking their money, like robbing them, you're done. You're cooked. You're going to prison for a long time.
That's a one-time crime. You get to do that once.
Yeah. So I'm going to say something. Petty crime, there's a lot of it.
Right.
Like pickpockets. You know what I mean? Like, people, like, you can leave your shit out and like nobody's gonna take it. Like, it's not bad like some of those other countries like you go to. Like, they'll just ride by in a scooter and snatch your phone out of your hand. Like, if you go to the Philippines, that can happen to you. Like, a lot of the places over here, like Dominican Republic, where's another country where you go? Like, people just snatch shit right out of your hand. You know, Thailand, those things don't happen because they're just. A lot of it boils down to culture. It's not because they punish the crime. It's just the culture. Like, people over there just don't steal from each other. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not, you're not gonna have to worry about somebody coming up to you at an ATM and putting a gun in your face and taking all your money. Like, you don't have to worry about those things over there. You don't have to worry about mass shootings. You know, I can go to the grocery store and not have to worry about getting my head blown off, going just to a Walmart because some guy comes in there and just decides they want to shoot 20 people. Like, those things just don't happen in Thailand. They just don't happen.
I don't really worry about that, but I hear you.
I'm worried about those things. Those are some of the things I worry about when I leave the house, because I still want to go out and like explore and like, you know, be a part of society and experience culture and, you know, go on adventures. Like, I'm not at that point in my life yet where I just want to hide in the house and make money. You know what I mean? That's not my MO yet. Eventually I'll get there.
My MO.
I know. That's why I said that. So I mean, and that's fine. You know, to each their own. Everybody's kind of on their own path. You know, making their own decisions. But it's like, you know, I want to be able to go out and explore a city without having to worry about becoming the victim of a violent crime. Period. And you're able to do those things in Asia. It's safe. Women don't have to worry about getting mugged, and you know, those things just don't. They don't happen. I mean, they do, but they don't. Like I said, because like no place is crime free.
Right. Statistically, there's less of a probability of it happening.
Yes. Like no place is crime free. There's going to be crime everywhere. People are going to be murdering and stealing and robbing and carjacking everywhere you go. But in Southeast Asia, it's just not on the scale of what it is here. You know?
So what do you think about just right now, what you think you're going to be able to live for a month? Like, I know you've done the math.
I've done it multiple times. So if I was going over there and I was just planning to live on my own, I would probably need somewhere like around $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month to live super comfortable, you know? And when I say super comfortable, that's living more comfortable than probably at any point in time in my life I've ever lived over here, except for when I was committing major amounts of fraud.
Right.
You know? So maybe it's like $1,500 a month. And it's super comfortable living on your own with like no roommates or like nothing. But since I do have a girlfriend and we're not going to be like splitting the bills, like we're straight down the middle because she has a Thai wage. She makes Thai money, which they only make like $500 or $600. The average Thai over there only makes maybe $500, $600, $700 US a month.
Right.
For everything, you know. So I wouldn't. Obviously, I'm not going to ask her to split all the bills down the middle with me. But since we're going to be living together and sharing, like she's going to share in some of the responsibility, that's going to drastically reduce my monthly expenses every month, as well as she's going to be able to get like Thai pricing. So if we go to get a condo somewhere, they're going to give me one price, but they're going to give her another price because you know. So I'm also going to get a lot of advantages like that.
Kind of like restaurants.
Restaurants.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or if she goes grocery shopping.
Yeah. Well, not so much groceries because that's all set prices. Like you go to Walmart, you're not going to be able to haggle. You know, they tell you it's $2 for a slice of cheese. It's $2 for a slice of cheese. Yeah. But so say like we go to like for renting condos and like just doing like extracurricular activities and like going to markets and like bartering with like Thai people selling shit. She's going to be able to get me a lot better prices, obviously, because she's going to deal with them and not me. So I do have that advantage. I do have that in my favor. So for financially, so I'm going to be able to survive on less than $1,000 a month over there and live comfortably. Yeah. No problem at all.
I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but how'd you meet her?
So that YouTube channel that I watch, Thai Talk with Dan.
Yeah.
And that's how he does it when he introduces. But so I watched that YouTube channel a lot, and they were talking about like he did a video on like all of the dating sites over there, and over there they have Tinder. Obviously they have it everywhere, but there's a Thai equivalent to Tinder called Thai Friendly, and I wasn't even really trying to like find a girlfriend, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to see what the dating pool was like over there. And listen, I don't know if anybody who dated, obviously Kobe's been with the same girl since high school, so he doesn't understand. But when you go on like Tinder or any of these dating sites here, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute shit show of a goddamn nightmare. It's like it's like you don't even know what you're gonna get.
Right.
You know? But over there, it's like I signed up for the account, and I swear to God, I woke up because our nights they're daytime. So when I woke up the next morning, they were up all day. I had probably 50 matches, and out of all those 50 matches, every single one of them messaged me, which is you don't get that here, like on the dating sites here.
No, here
if you get a match, you have to message
40,
first.
You put out 40, introductions or text, however they call it. 40. You might get one or two.
One might respond, and then you talk to her for 2 hours, and then they just don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah. Like it's a joke here. It's an absolute joke. So like I said, I got all of these likes and everything. And I know it's because I'm a white dude. And, like that's just, I understand like the money part. Like when foreigners come over there, that we bring a lot of money with them. Our money's worth a lot more. So a lot of the time, I'm not going to say every Thai girl, but that's why a lot of Thai women date foreigners exclusively is for the financial benefits.
Right.
Like I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm just like some great looking guy and I'm going to walk over there and, be able to get all this tail.
Right.
But so like I said, I just wanted to see what the dating pool was. I mean, I know I'm not ugly.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd still, actually that is, it doesn't matter if you go over there, that is what would happen. You get a lot of tail just because you're an American or because they know your potential to make money, it vastly outranks the males in that country.
Yeah, and let me just say, it doesn't matter what you look like when you go. I mean, it definitely helps.
Oh, I'm sure it
helps.
Like
if you're more attractive, it definitely helps like on the prices you're going to get with the women and all that. But it's like, it doesn't matter what you look like when you go over there. You could have 3 eyes and a tail, and you're still gonna have a 10 trying to take you out, trying to hook up with you every single day. It's just how it is.
The problem is these guys get these chicks that they convince them like you're 5'8", 60 pounds overweight, bald.
You got a gut.
You got
bad teeth.
Bad teeth.
Yeah.
You're all fucked up, and you're dating a chick, and this chick who's a 10. And you're dating her, and within a week, she's convinced you she is head over heels in love with you, and you fall in love with her. It's like, bro, don't you understand what's happening here? And they don't. Bro, man, no, I don't understand. I thought she loved me. It's like, bro,
yeah, listen, these guys,
be reasonable.
Yeah. You gotta have some kind of sense when you go over there, because listen, there's women over there that's their job. It's just being in relationships.
Yeah.
That's just they don't work. They don't do anything. That's their job. They're professionally just in a relationship. And the guy just takes care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when that guy leaves the country or whatever, they'll talk him into keep sending money to him, and they'll grab another one coming into the country, and they'll get with him. And it's just they'll keep him on rotation. So like one girl will have like 15 guys sending her money, on a good day, sending her money from out of the country, because she's got all these men thinking that they're in love with them and they're gonna have some kind of life with her. But I have to go back. Because I was, most guys that go over there, they only go over there for like a month,
right,
a few weeks. They're not like me. They just get a one-way ticket. There's very few people just are like, fuck everything, and I'm just going to move to Thailand.
I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, normal people don't do that. Normal people go over there on vacation, and they're like, I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to go back home. And like I said, they get roped in by these Thai women, and next thing you know, they're going back to the UK or to the US, and they're just sending them money every month. Because what is it, $300-$400 a month?
You send $300 back to them.
That's 10,000 baht.
Yeah, to them that's a ton of money. That's a ton of money.
Yeah.
For you, it's $300.
And the Thais live cheaply. So Thais will pay 10,000-20,000 baht a month for rent.
Right.
Maybe sometimes less than that, 8, 10, 15. So you're sending her money, you're paying her rent, you're buying her all her meals. Plus she's got other
she's
guys.
Got 3 or 4 of you. If she's got 4 of you.
Living good.
Yeah.
Their nails are done all the time. They're going out to eat. They got the latest iPhone.
And they've got whatever guy is currently they're working on. He's spending $500-$600, maybe $1,000 a month.
Oh yeah.
He's there for that month.
Oh, it's like a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I've learned about that.
What was the guy's channel that reads the
Thai
letters?
Talk with Dan.
Thai Talk.
Yeah, Thai Talk with Dan.
Yeah.
We'll have to leave a link down in the description of this video. But yeah, listen, that channel right there will really, if you're one of those guys who are thinking you're just going to go over there and find a wife, I highly recommend watching these videos first, because it's really going to open your eyes up. And I'm not saying that there aren't good women in Thailand, because there are, but you're not going to find them working at a bar. The bar girls over there, you will never find a good bar girl. They're just going to take all your money. That's what they do. Any woman working in freelancing or anything like that, which is prostitution, is basically what it is. I mean, these girls are prostitutes, and I hate to use that word, because that word here in America is associated with
a stigma to it.
The underbelly of the worst of society, and it's but you don't understand the economy over here. There's no opportunity for these women in Thailand. You got all these guys coming there, and they're just blowing all this money, and these young girls see this, and why wouldn't they want to go to these major cities and come in, hook up with these foreigners and get paid? It just is what it is. I understand it. It's not like here in America where bitch, you can go work at Walmart. You know what I mean? You're not going to make $100,000 a year, but bitch, you can go work at Walmart. You don't got to go sell pussy. You know what I mean? It's over there, they don't have Walmarts and Dollar Trees and dollar stores and gas. You know what I mean? It's different economy.
Yeah. You can work here. You can get a job as a bartender or as a waitress, and you might have to have a roommate or two, but you can live. You can still pay for get a cheap car, cheap insurance, or take the bus, or what, and you can still pay. You're not going to live great, but the bottom of the barrel here is still way better than the bottom of the barrel over there.
Oh, there's slums. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, we saw the slums.
Bangkok is a city of vast, high society, but then you've got people living in
nots.
You have a whole part of society in Thailand that lives in slums, tin shacks.
Yeah.
Not even proper housing, just some shit they found and nailed together to live inside of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a train coming through this little. I watched this thing where there was a train coming through this little town or this little slum, and their houses were built maybe the width of this table away from the train track. Here would be somebody's house, and then there'd be a train track right here where this giant train just comes through 4 or 5 times a day. So you do have the slums, and like there's very, very extreme poverty in Thailand. But to be honest, I could live like that if I had to over there. I could go live from living homeless here in America and starving to death, I could go live in this. If I had to, I could go live in the slums over there in Thailand, right next to the train track, and just eat rice every day and hang out. Go to cockfights.
Bad. No.
You know?
Anyway, so
I think the language is. I don't think we talked about like the language.
I looked that up. What's the percentage of people that speak English? Is
They
there gonna
don't.
be a language barrier or?
So the Thais don't speak English over there at all. Like as like a society.
Yeah.
So there are Thai people that do speak good English, but it's normally Thais who were raised in families who could afford to send them to like university. So like my girlfriend, the girl I'm talking to, she speaks perfect English. She's actually a teacher. She's a teacher, so she teaches kids. But her major in college was English, so she speaks. Obviously, she doesn't. Her pronunciation isn't dead on.
Right.
Obviously, like she's a native speaker, but she gets the nuances and like the sarcasm and the jokes, and her English is just as good as you or ours. She can hold a full conversation, but that's not typical of your average Thai person in Thailand. They just don't.
But listen, he'll walk around with her on speakerphone talking to her, and he goes into the kitchen the other day, and he's getting some ice to get some water. He puts it at the thing in, and you hear the ice dropping, and she goes, "What's that? What's that?" And he goes, "Getting ice." She's like, "What?" And he goes, "I'm getting ice." And he shows her. He's like, "I'm getting ice out of the."
She said the refrigerator makes ice.
Makes ice.
like
wow.
Yeah, so our kitchens over here, like they call them Western kitchens.
Right.
So if you see a kitchen like this in a house or a condo in Thailand, it's called a Western kitchen.
Right.
They just don't cook in home over there, and if they do, their kitchens are outside of the house. It'll be like outdoors, like their stove and all that shit will be outside. Like they don't cook in the homes. And they'll have their refrigerators over there are very small. Like they use not the mini fridges, but not the big ones like we have. It's like the medium.
Right.
It's not like a regular size refrigerator. They're usually smaller, unless you got money and you live in a nice house. Then you got the Western kitchen and all that shit. But no, as far as language goes, the Thai language, I've been learning over the past 6 months. I know probably 15 or 20 words right now, like the greetings, and I can order food. And, I know a few other phrases, but yeah, the language is definitely a whole conundrum that I'm going to have to tackle, because learning Thai isn't like learning any other language, because they don't use the English alphabet. You know what I mean? Like
right.
they're like, if you see Thai written, you don't even know. It's just a bunch of scribbly lines. You can't even make sense out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the language is pretty wild over there. It's just, it's going to be a feat.
Right.
But no, like the more I get into it and the more I learn it, I'm like, okay, there's words that they reuse a lot where you can, bridge.
What is where you can use a translator?
Yeah, and I got Google Translate, and I got ChatGPT, that'll act as a translator between two people. If I want to have a conversation with them, it'll relay what I'm saying to them and then them back to me. So,
but it's not like you can go to like you're walking through France and you turn around and 40% of the population speaks English. Not like you can sit there and go, "Hey, does anybody spep English?" And somebody's going to stop and go, "Yeah, I speak English."
No, it's not like that. Well, in Bangkok, I think but as soon as you get outside of Bangkok, no, people just don't. And there's different dialects, and where people like if you go to northern Thailand, they speak different Thai than southern Thailand.
Right.
So obviously I'm probably going to go to school when I get over there, just so I can learn the language well and understand it well, because it'll probably take me twice as long if I don't go to school to learn the language.
Right.
And I think maybe I can get a visa to actually stay and learn the language. It's called a Thai educational visa. So that's one of the visa options I'm looking at when I go over. Yeah, so when I get over, obviously I'm gonna be doing editing for a living when I get over there, and that should carry me through my monthly expenses. But I'm really gonna be focusing on my YouTube channel, because
what you renamed it? It was Boseak.
It was Boseak Conundrum, but people don't really read even at a 9th grade level, so the conundrum was just too big of a word for a lot of people to even spell when I tell them what my name of my YouTube channel is. So it's just my name, John Boseak. And that's everything now. That's my TikTok, that's my Instagram, that's my YouTube channel. That's everything is just my name, John Boseak.
Right.
which is still difficult. People want to spell my last name with a Z. There's no Z.
Put that in the keywords. In the keyword search.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Misspell it in the keyword search.
Yeah. I mean, there's no. We looked up. There's almost
that.
no Boseaks out there.
There's none.
Yeah. But
I'm the only one, but nobody can spell it right, so I'm gonna have to spell it. People want to spell it Boziak.
Right.
It's pronounced exactly how it's spelled. Yeah. Boseak.
Right.
Boseak. Never mind. That's besides the point. So John Boseak, and I'm just gonna be basically vlogging my everyday experiences in Thailand. You know, and while I'm vlogging, you know, this is how much I paid for this. This is how much I paid for that. You know, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is how you get around. You know, and I'm going to explore, like I said, different parts of Bangkok. So each, you know, trip will be a different series of, you know, a different part of Bangkok. But, you know, I'm going to get outside of Thailand. I think after like the first, you know, 8 or 9 months of there, I'm going to start traveling to like Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines.
I would try and hook up with some of the other guys that have, you know what I'm saying? Like at least meet them so you can build at least a group, you know. Like
you're talking about the YouTubers
group.
That are already
the
there.
other YouTubers, because they have the, you know, they have the lay of the land, and then
they've been there for a while,
and they know what works and what doesn't work, and then you know you can have a little community of like kind of like, you know, Julian, Danny, Wade, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a group of little YouTubers, even though we're not even in the same place.
It's funny you say that because I've watched another guy who was over there and he was talking about the same thing, and he was like, I've tried to link up with a lot of these guys that are over here doing content and they just don't.
They're just not interested.
They're just not interested for some reason. Like, you know, I don't know why. Maybe because the kind of content that I make, they don't want their channel associated with. People, motherfuckers are just weird.
Silly.
People are just weird as hell. So they would be cool to be able to hang out with some of these guys and film content. But I'm not banking on it because from what I've heard, they don't really like to collaborate with other people.
Like I'd still make an attempt
because I think this is what
help conscript their subscribers and your easy content and their easy.
And
content.
I think there's how do you say this? The opposite of having the abundance mindset.
Oh, they have
the scarcity.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, there's so many people over here making videos that I can't. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to promote anybody else's channel because they might do better than mine. Or like I don't know.
Stupid.
And I don't obviously I don't know that, but I'm assuming that's how like a lot of the mind frame is with these guys over there.
No, there's you know those people that think if you're getting a piece of pie, you're taking it from my potential pie. But the truth is, there's tons of pie. There's just too many people on YouTube.
There's such a big demographic, and like my demographic may not be your demographic. Right. Like the people that watch my videos may not watch your videos, and vice versa. Yeah. You know, so you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens once I get over there. I'll message a few of these guys. Well, let me get on the ground, get there for a while, start traveling around, and then you know really establish myself over there and start putting out a lot of content. We'll see how my channel does initially, and if it takes off, then I'll start maybe reaching out to some of these guys. Maybe not.
Wait, how many videos you plan on putting out a week? You're just gonna wing it?
I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna try and do one every day, like just a vlog every day. But I know I'm not gonna be able to stick to that. So I'm gonna try and do as much content as I possibly can. And for the first 90 days, it's gonna be crazy because I'm gonna be traveling and stuff. So I'm gonna put out a lot of content. So like the first 90 days, I'm just gonna completely saturate with content. But then when I get back to Bangkok and I kind of want to like, I'm going to have to figure out like, okay, now I'm out of vacation mode because like the first 90 days, I think I'm going to be in vacation mode. But then after that, I'm going to try and figure out like just like a daily routine, wake up, gym, film, you know, then I'm going to have to have some kind of hobby while I'm over there. So, you know, but figuring all of that out will be a video series. And then once I get settled into my daily routine, then that'll be a different, you know, video series. And then,
what about Patreon?
So here's what I was thinking. I want to get over there and I want to set up a podcast studio, kind of like this, because I want to do the vlogging, but I like the long form, you know, content, you know, having conversations. So what I want to do is the vlogging and all my regular content will go to my YouTube channel, but then everything I do in the podcast studio, I want to just go straight to Patreon. So I'm going to interview like expats, people who have moved from other countries who are currently living in Thailand. I want to interview those people. I want to interview like the sex workers, the bar girls, the transients, you know, whoever all of those interviews I'm gonna have exclusively on Patreon itself. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could get a couple of bar girls that speak good English to do, they could probably tell you some insane stories. So it'd almost be different than the Dan
Thai Talk with Dan.
It'd be different than Dan. Yeah. It'd be different than his channel because he's
just reading stories of
right.
Oh, you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth.
This is what the chick is saying. They're gonna twist it.
Apparently, a lot of them don't like going on camera.
Oh, I'll bet.
That's why I want to have it exclusively for Patreon.
Oh yeah, because then it's not gonna catch up.
Yeah. It won't be. Everybody can't go and see it. Only the people who pay to see it can see it. So I think maybe if I work that angle, I'll be able to get a lot more of them in there. Yeah. And then there's like this whole like subculture in Thailand. They're called sex pests.
Right. What's that?
Guys who are just like, they go over there and they're just like, going raw dog and like 5 or 6 chicks every single day, just going nuts all over the place. Like that one dude, Osho.
Yeah.
I played it for one of his videos for you. This dude's maniac. Wears a ski mask, won't show his face. And he he has some kind of hidden camera. Like he cakes in there with him and he shows himself like picking up the prostitute, going into the back room with her. Obviously he blurs everything out for YouTube because you can't really show. But yeah.
He says he has a problem. Like he knows he's got a problem. Like you tell he's.
He's like, I've tried everything. I've tried motorcycles, cars. He's like, video games get old. He's like, this is the only thing for me that really. He's like the prostitutes, man. He films himself going to Tijuana, Mexico. Hong Kong, Tijuana, Mexico. He films himself going to Pattaya, Thailand, and just hooking up with prostitutes. And there's no shame in his game. So there's like this whole subculture of people. They're called sex pests. And I'd love to get a few of them guys in there and interview a few of them guys because those guys are just insane.
What about, I was going to say.
And on Patreon, you can say whatever you want. Yeah. You can have nudity. I can have them chicks in there topless. Interviewing them if I want. You know what I mean?
What's good, I was going to say, is like literally if it's $10 and you get 50 guys for $10, that's $500, bro. That's your rent. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying if you build it up and you get people paying $10, that's rent.
It's amazing how far the U.S. dollar goes once you actually leave the United States. It's absolute insanity.
Yeah, I wonder how long it would take to get that many Patreons.
And when I do the Patreon, once I film the podcast episodes for the Patreon, I'm gonna do a full TikTok for it. So I'm gonna do TikToks from the Patreon episodes, which are gonna be really good. And I'm also gonna do like an Instagram and might even do a shorts channel for the Instagram or for the Patreon. So you know what I mean? Just cut like 10, 15-minute shorts from every Patreon video, clean them up a little bit.
But that way they kind of know what they got.
Exactly. They'll watch the short channel. Just go to the subscribe to the Patreon to get to the So I'm going to work that angle. Being able to set up a studio over there, I can probably do relatively inexpensively. I could probably rent a place for $150 US a month. Yeah, a decent little studio, just somewhere to set up a couple of cameras and some mics and shit.
Yeah,
$150 a month, maybe $200 a month US over there. So
especially you can get a place with no windows. It'd be a plus. Yeah. Get a room with no windows.
Yeah, just in like an office building somewhere.
Mode.
I was just like, even if it's almost like the soft white underbelly. Even if you could hear people outside yelling or sirens or what does it matter? I'm in Bangkok. What do you expect? I'm in Bangkok. There's sirens. You can hear prostitutes outside. Like it's kind of like
you can hear prostitutes outside.
Well, I'm saying the soft white underbelly thing. When you're on Skid Row, you were there. You hear people are driving by. People are yelling. They're fighting. There's sirens. You hear everything. Like. Before I went on Soft White Underbelly, I thought that was like a soundtrack. Like he added that for, you know what I'm saying?
Then once you get down there, it's right on 6th Street.
Yeah.
And what do they call that? Skid Row.
Yeah. 12 feet away, I'm 10 feet away from the door. A foot outside of there's crackheads screaming and hollering, getting in these screams. And you can hear sirens. And I remember when I was doing it, he was like, okay. He's like, wait. Because we heard a siren. I was like, oh, I thought you wanted that in the background. I thought that's why you were down here. He's like, yeah, usually, but not in this case. It's not for you. And we waited for this thing to go by, and then he was like, or this ambulance or something. And he was like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And I thought, I even told him on the thing, I said, when I watched the first couple of these things, I thought you actually, that was like sound effects.
I thought I was going to get robbed pulling up. I pulled up in a rental car. I got out. I had all my jewelry on and shit. And you're down there in Skid Row.
It's rough.
I was like, holy fuck. I'm looking around for the address. I'm like, this just can't be right. There's no way. The GPS took me to the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah. No, he picked me up because he said that Uber He said a lot of Uber drivers aren't going to want to drop you off.
Yeah.
And he was like, so
dude, the Uber drivers won't even go down there.
Yeah,
That's how crazy it is.
Listen, Mark was he 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah.
He's tall. He's tall, lanky. He was driving a BMW, you know, the little compact BMW 2-door. That's what he was driving.
Yeah.
It looks like a clown mobile.
Yeah, the
he
clown
pulled
car.
up. He's like, you know, hey Matt, come on in. I was like this car is too small for me.
Yeah.
He's in there like.
When we were doing my interview, he just laid down on the floor.
Yeah.
He had the camera on this little tripod, but
Yeah.
like on the floor, and he just laid down on the floor like this. He was just interviewing.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Same
give
thing. Same
yeah,
thing. He
yeah.
just laid
He
down.
doesn't give a
looks,
shit.
Looks every once in a while. He's laying back.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. Mark's cool. Yeah, so software underbelly was a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could rent a place in the middle of in a shithole area for next to nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try and soundproof it the best I can, just because I don't like the ambient noise when I'm trying to, have an interview and do interviews or whatever. But yeah, so that's gonna be Patreon. I'm gonna try and do daily videos. I don't know how much I'm gonna get filmed over there.
Well, you do like
But I'm gonna try my best to just show just what a normal life is like when you live in Thailand.
Well, do you know how good the Wi-Fi is? Like if you could do live.
Some of the best on the planet. Apparently, they have like some of the fastest internet speeds on Earth.
Well, I'm sure if you're downtown, if you where you want to go. Like I mean, obviously,
Well, I'm gonna live in like one of those nice buildings that have high speed. Yeah.
So
the live streams, but see, the live streams are gonna be hard to do because of the time difference.
Oh yeah.
So like, say I'm live streaming at like midnight, it's gonna be noon over here. So if I'm live streaming like 8 o'clock in the morning, it'll be 8 o'clock at night over here. So I might be able to get like a day. It'll be a day live stream, but I'll be watching it at night over here.
Yeah, that would be like
Probably be a little bit better that way, right?
Aaron Smith Levy, he does this stuff on Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
He started his YouTube off by doing. He said he made it a goal like I am doing one live a week.
Well, YouTube really pushes the lives.
Right. He said I think he said I'm going to do 2 lives a week. And he said he said I'm going to make no matter what, even if I just get on there. He said he was like, and
there's nobody there.
Nobody there, and I just read a book for an hour. That's what I'm going to do. Like I made that as my goal, just to talk about Scientology. That was it. And he said so he started that, and he's like, it got more. First one was 30 people or 20 people, whatever. And it kept doing it. He said after a month, I thought this isn't that hard, and people are paying attention. He goes, what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to see if I can do 5 a week, 1 a day, every week. And then so he went from like 2 to like 4, then from 4 to I'm going to do 1 every day. And now he does like 3 a day.
Yeah. I know a lot of the guys, this guy I watch, he's
great.
in Da Nang, Vietnam, one of the guys I watch, and he does a live pretty much every day.
Right.
He'll do a live.
And if you have 13,000 subs and you do a live, it's going to at least present it to half those subs. Like, hey, this guy you're subscribed to is doing a live.
Yeah.
So that might be something you could think about. Anyway.
Yeah, once I get into like a routine over there, and I figure out like what my day-to-day life is, then I think I'll be able to plan the lives.
And with the lives, people can donate.
Right. Yeah. Buy me a coffee kind of thing or whatever it is.
Yeah. No, it can be, what is it, 5?
They can do
Super
super
chats.
chats. Yeah, super chats. Yeah, so if you're streaming, like.
And they also have like a members only section of
Yeah, it's kind of like
YouTube.
Patreon. Yeah.
Kind of like Patreon, right?
Our fear with that is, what if something happens?
All eggs in one basket.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I'm just doing the daily vlogs, life in Thailand videos. I'm gonna do the Patreon, the interviews on Patreon, and then like I said, I'm gonna find a hobby. I have a girlfriend. Hopefully that works out and that goes well. But I'm not holding my breath.
Right.
Because I'm 40 years old and I've been through so many nightmare relationships. Every interaction I've had with a woman historically in my life has just been overwhelmingly negative. So it's kind of hard to go into, and that's not fair for her, going into a relationship expecting the worst. But it's just like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
But like I said, the culture over there is different. The women are different. Things might be different, but I'm not like putting all my eggs in that basket.
You gonna pick up Muay Thai? That's a big thing.
I could, yeah. I could do Muay Thai. And it's something I've been thinking about. But something else I was thinking about is like, if I do Muay Thai, I want to go hard. Like, I want to have like legitimate fights and all that. And like, I'm worried about getting injured.
Yeah.
At my age, like getting like a breaking a wrist or like a femur or like a shin or something at 40, dude, I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be down and out for 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you can't be another
dude,
country
I don't
fucked up.
I don't want the injuries. I don't want to get the injuries. That's my only thing with Muay Thai. Cause like I want to do it. And like I might go and just take the classes and go through the motions and hit the pads, but what fun is that if you're not going to get in the ring and fight somebody? Yeah. Like what good is learning all this martial arts if you're not going to use it? You know, so I'm going to want to fight, and I'm eventually going to get injured because it happens to everybody when you fight Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a rough sport over there. I mean, you get kicked right in the side of the head. It's like boxing. It's like kickboxing and boxing put together.
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
Yeah, you're getting kicked in the chin. You're kicked in the side of the head. You're taking. It's rough.
There was this clip of this like kid. He's like 14 years old. He's like, if this video gets 100,000 views, I'll do the top comment. And the top comment was, move to Thailand and become a fighter or whatever. And like it went super viral. And he never went, but there was a bunch of kids.
Dude, they start fighting in Thailand at 9 or 10 years old is when they get into Muay Thai.
And there was a bunch of teenagers that, since this guy didn't go, they're like, if I can raise this much money, I will go. And then they raise, like, people give them money, and then they never go. It's like a whole little thing. It's like a little subculture of people trying to move to Thailand to become Thai fighters.
Muay Thai, and a lot of people go to Thailand specifically to train Muay Thai because you can get a visa to come into the country and train Muay Thai for a year, 2 years, or whatever. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that's the route I'm going to go.
That could be the backup visa plan.
Yeah. No, my bottom of the barrel backup plan is just becoming an English teacher over there. If everything else fails, because I can tattoo over there, I can become a tattoo artist, and I can open a tattoo shop because I have, I have a Thai girlfriend, so she can open a tattoo shop, and I can go there, and so I can tattoo. Like if I always have that to fall back on, But like I don't know what the money will be like tattooing, but. If everything fails, if all of my plans fail, if my YouTube channel fails, if the economy goes into the shitter, if the American dollar goes bust, I can always teach English over there. Always.
I was gonna say you'll be doing.
I speak the language impeccably.
You'll be you'll be tattooing little Bangkok 2025 tattoos and all these little. Yeah. He would come back from tattooing and I'd be like, oh, well, you tattooed today, and he'd be like, I did 2. He'd be like, yeah, I did 2 butterflies and a.
I've been tattooing since probably 2003, and professionally since about 2018, 17. And I've tattooed more butterflies in my career than I've tattooed anything else in my entire life.
Yeah. He's like that, infinity
symbols, butterflies, feathers with the turning into butterflies. It's just, I could tattoo butterflies with my eyes closed. Blindfolded, I guarantee I could tattoo a butterfly. Yeah, so it's just one of those things with the industry. Yeah, if everything else fails, I can teach English. And I'll have to live like a local because I won't, they'll pay me a Thai salary. I won't be making, So I'll have to live like a local. I'll have to, I'll eat rice and noodles every day, and it'll be what it is. But I'll be able to survive. And honestly, the quality of life you live, even as a Thai local, is like living poor in Thailand. You can still kind of have a decent quality of life. You're not going to have a brand new car. You're not going to live in a luxury high-rise apartment.
Does anybody even have cars over there? Everybody's on scooters.
Scooters are probably the main mode of travel just because they don't have the infrastructure built out for everybody to own a vehicle.
Right.
So if everybody owned a vehicle you would never be able to get anywhere because there would just be this constant brick of traffic. So everybody drives mopeds, and they have the highest fatality rate for traffic deaths in Thailand and the entire world. Oh, I think India kind of holds the crown, but I think Thailand's a strong second for fatalities over there.
How fucking bad does it have to be?
It's like every 5 or 6 minutes somebody's getting killed on the road over there in Thailand. Because it's just mad. It's just chaos. Like if you've ever go watch any video on YouTube about traffic in Thailand, it is chaos. Plus they drive on the left side of the road over there. The steering wheel's on the right side of the car. So I wouldn't be able to drive a car over there even if I could afford one, because the driving's up there. I could drive on the left side of the road. I could do it if I'm just driving straight down one side, but like navigating,
they don't really pay attention to the lanes. They don't really pay attention to the stop signs.
Dude, navigating
they're doing this like constantly weaving in and out from each other.
Me being able to navigate, coming up into like an intricate, busy intersection, trying to navigate that on the wrong side of the road, forget about it. I'm gonna lose my life. I'm gonna get run over. So, but I'm gonna buy a motorbike when I get over there. I'm gonna have to learn how to drive. I'm gonna have to learn how to ride a motorbike. I'm gonna have to learn.
Goes everywhere.
You can, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But like for like the longer trips, like so say if I move like outside of Bangkok, which I think eventually is going to be the plan. It's just to move a little bit outside of the city, buy a little piece of property, build a house, get married, have a couple of kids.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely want kids. I mean, I'm 40. I think I want.
Don't you already have a bunch of kids?
But I haven't been able to raise them the way I want. You know what I mean? I want one where I can just get my hands on them and see the thing all the way through to the end, from the beginning to the end. That's what I really want. Listen, I've done all the drugs. I've been to all the parties. I've drank all the booze. I've slept with all the women. You know what I mean? Like I've done a lot of things in my life that many people don't get to do because they chose to do the right thing, to go to work you know what I mean? They chose to have a job and a family and go to work every day. I didn't do any of those things. I just been being a maniac my whole life. So now, like I'm going to be turning 40 in February, and it's the second half. It's halftime. Like I'm midlife crisis kind of ordeal. So now it's like midlife crisis. You move to Southeast Asia, you get the Asian wife. You know what I mean? You have kids, you get married, you kind of live the nice, calm life. Where I don't have that overbearing stress of like the mortgage and the car payments and all the crazy shit, like, that will put me in an early grave, a heart attack at 55, 60.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like over there, you just kind of relax. I go fishing, wake up in the morning, do a little bit of fishing, go down to the village and get my vegetables or whatever I'm going to cook for the day. And the kids are coming to and from school. You play with them. You raise the kids up over there in Thailand with their value system and their culture. Not this mindless garbage here. I think it's the way to go for like the second half of life, for like the second part of the 40 to hopefully 80. Nobody's really living past 80 these days, but go over there, get healthy. All the poison that's in our food supply just doesn't exist over there. All the modified food ingredients and the preservatives and
that licked. Kennedy's going to take care of.
You ain't lying. JFK's coming in there. Or RFK. I'm sorry, RFK.
I do have a question. I heard he's going to take.
Don't you even reach for that aspartame.
You see those videos? I follow Instagram where everyone's like that. It's got they'll cut his picture out and it's obvious like cut out and they'll paste it on like this super jacked. And you'll be able to show a guy reaching in the.
Don't even think about reaching for that aspartame.
Why does he want to take? Why does he want to take fluoride out of all the water? What's the problem with fluoride?
The problem with fluoride is it's a byproduct of chemical waste, and it causes all kinds of problems inside the human body. They're saying it's one of the main reasons people are getting Alzheimer's. It causes genetic mutations inside your body that don't really have an immediate effect on your life, but over a maybe 10 or 20 year lifespan, you have a lot more problems like towards the end of your life with like cognitive ability, cognitive functions, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis.
I can't fucking remember
liver function, it just over expanded period of time. Like all of these shit that's in our food supply over here, that's what happens. Like obviously it's not poisoning us as soon as we eat it, or else it would be outlawed.
Yeah.
But over a given amount of time, all of the shit that's in our food supply over here is causing the cancers, the carcinoma,
Why are they saying that they put fluoride in our? Like, why put it at all? What is the benefit? The immediate
putting
benefit?
fluoride in the water? It's for the teeth.
Is it for our teeth?
Right?
Americans have pretty good teeth. Yeah. Probably. I was gonna say, is it like?
I never dove down this rabbit hole.
In the UK.
I didn't dive down this rabbit hole.
we need to check.
I don't think so. No, they don't.
None. They've never seen fluoride.
That's another thing. And you can't drink the water in Bangkok and Thailand.
Does he have to do bottled water?
Bottled water only. Yeah, you can't drink the water. There's parasites in the water because they don't have the facilities to treat the water like we do here, which is probably part of the reasons they put the fluoride in the water. Right. Like I haven't dove down that rabbit hole on the whole fluoride thing, so I don't know enough about it.
I'm gonna look into it now.
But yeah.
oh God, what is it in Idiocracy? Brundo. What was it?
Brando.
Brando.
It's got electrolytes.
It's got electrolytes. That's kind of how I feel about like is that like fluoride? Like we don't even know why.
We don't even know why it's in the water supply. Yeah. So yeah, so like a lot of things that are in the food supply here, just they're not in the food supply over there. So being able to go over there and like actually live healthy and like live, I think, a little bit longer, because they do, the life expectancy in these these Southeast Asian countries is way longer. They live well into their 90s over there, whereas over here, it's usually prostate cancer by 60, 70. You're either having a stroke or a heart attack, and then you're lucky if you make it to your 80s, and you're in a walker. You're not getting around very well.
You're being kept alive basically just because of the medication, medicine.
Yes.
Because of modern medicine, it's keeping you alive, not just because you're naturally going to live.
Yeah, take you up, pull the plug on the medications, and all of your internal organs and everything shut down. Brain cognibility goes away. Your muscles stop working. But over there, it's like they live a different lifestyle. They tend to be a little bit healthier on average. Like the average person in Southeast Asia, they just tend to be a little bit healthier.
Not an obesity problem.
There's fat people over there. There's fat Asians now, but not like here in America. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I'm just gonna get healthy. Focus on just being healthy, having some kind of workout regimen, eating healthy. Living healthy. And eventually, like I said, I want to have a family, kids, a wife, everything.
This is the question actually from my wife. It's funny. We wake up in the morning and we're talking about this podcast, and she asked me, she's like, is Matt going to miss him? I was like, I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Listen, you know what's so funny is I have so many people that have come here and met Boseak and will say stuff, but they'll ask about him. How's he doing? I'm like, what do you keep at? Like, what is going on? And then like Tyler, he said, like when the hurricane came through, Tyler texted me. He said, he came through. He's like, is everything okay? And I said, yeah, everything's fine. He said, is Boseak safe? He goes, make sure to take care of Boseak. He goes, at all costs. And he's done this multiple times, just out of the blue. He's like, is Boseak okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It'd probably be a little bit different without me here spewing my nonsense all the time, but
yeah, Jess has already said, she's like, I'm kind of gonna miss him.
I'm a good roommate.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah,
very good roommate. I'm very hard to come by. People like me.
Yeah, there's never any dirty dishes. There's never any. He's got his cupboard, and he's got his place in the pantry. He's got his cupboard. He takes everything out. He makes everything. He puts it aside. He'll eat, and then he washes every single thing and puts everything back up. So he can have a whole meal. You come downstairs and you only know that he had a meal because you can smell. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, he must have made something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like leaving messes. I don't like inconveniencing other people, and I don't know how or why I got that way. I just don't. I'll go out of my way before I inconvenience someone else. You know what I mean? Like, because if I inconvenience somebody by doing something kind of like, like they have to clean up after me, it's like that'll be in my head for the rest of the day. Sometimes for 2 days. Like, damn, I should have washed that plate because he left it and they had to wash it. Like, that'll just fuck with me for 2 or 3 days. So that's why I just don't do it, because I'll have to live in my own personal hell. So that's why I'm not loud. Like, I don't make loud noises. I don't bring anybody. I hate that when you live with somebody and they're always bringing weird people to the house. And you're like, dude, I get it. Like, we're sharing, but it's like, dude, you're always bringing people over here. Dude, I don't like that. So I don't do it.
We'll be down here and hear him laughing. But he's like, he'll be watching like cat videos or something on TikTok, and he'll be like,
dude, I spend an uncomfortable amount of time alone, so I have to have fun.
And so I have to have fun. We'll be watching TV and we'll both look at each other and look up and just start laughing sometimes.
Yeah, I clean up after myself. I'm quiet. I don't bring anybody to the house.
Plus, in institutions, like, you get used to taking everything out, doing everything you're doing, putting it all back. If you leave something on your locker, it could get stolen. Not that it would, because sometimes they'll really beat the piss out of somebody in prison if they catch them stealing. Yeah. But people do. Yeah. But the guards will take it, or the guards will try, or your bunkie will be like, "What are you doing, bro? Yeah, like, you can't leave this shit out. Like, you're gonna get us shook down. So you also get used to that."
I think I've developed OCD over just from all the stints of incarceration and all the programs I've been in. I think that's why I have the OCD that I have. So, I'm not one of those people who just can leave shit laying around everywhere. Like, I fold my dirty clothes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't leave things like, there's a place for everything, and everything in its place is how I truly believe. Like, I'll organize garbage. Like, I can't just leave like shit strewn about. Like it fucks with me on like a subconscious level. Like I'll just be laying in bed and I won't be able to sleep at night knowing that there's something downstairs that just needs to be cleaned or needs to be put away.
It's funny. I probably, when I was incarcerated, was probably washing my hands 40, 50 times a day. And I was about to say, you don't really do that anymore. And then I just thought about it and I thought, bro, you wash your hands. I'm
a hand washer.
I was at my sister's last night. We were there for 2 hours. I washed my hand 4 times. Just because I picked something up, I cut up something, I put it down, and I thought I should wash my hand. Like I immediately felt like I should wash. It's silverware, it's fine.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of people cutting stuff up, and I immediately walked in, washed my hands real quick. I don't even think that there's anything on the spoon or whatever. But mentally, I thought to myself, there's so many people here, I should wash my hands. And I don't think anybody has anything, but you get to that point. And I was just about to say, yeah, I don't do that anymore. I thought, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Last night you washed your hand at least 4 or 5 times when you were at your sister's.
I do the same thing.
I've washed my hand today. I probably washed my hands at least 4 or 5 times this morning alone.
Sometimes if I'm just walking through the kitchen, I'll stop and wash my hands.
Yeah.
If I'm just walking through the kitchen, like, let me just stop and.
I don't think you notice. I don't. Like
subconscious. It's just something you do subconsciously. Yeah.
But if you hung out with me long enough, you'd probably start realizing, like, bro, you've washed your hands 3 times.
He's a hand washer.
Hour and a half. Like, what are you doing? Like,
He's a hand washer.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, it's weird.
I grab the door handle. I don't feel like anything's wrong with me, but if it's probably not normal behavior. It's probably good behavior, really. But
I think everybody that's kind of been here, well, most people who've been through here have been in prison, but like it's very clean.
They all say that, and I look at this place and I think it's chaos. But how many people we come here and said, "Wow, your place is so well organized, so clean"? I'm thinking to myself, where do you live?
Yeah,
there's not. Granted, we don't have anything really out. Mm-hmm. Like there's no
kids here either.
Yeah,
that's what'll fuck your place up. Our kids.
There's no real clutter. The only clutter is directly related to the equipment, and it's a lot of wires, but there's not wires that aren't plugged into something. Like it's all has its place.
Mm-hmm. Kids and animals will fuck your shit up.
Yeah, their problem. They're my nephew's daughter was there last night at Thanksgiving dinner, and I mean, listen, it was like. There's like 4 or 5 there's at least 3 or 4 adults just trying to kind of wrangle her. You know what I'm saying? She's picking up everything and doing drawing stuff. They must have yanked 5 pins out of her hand. Just she grabs one she knows exact click. Let's start drawing. And they're like, nope. It's like, my God, that's a full-time job, bro.
Yeah, it's fun.
What else?
I think that's it, man. You know, I'm just I think this is the best thing for me. You know, just a single guy. I'm not married. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any like a lot of responsibilities. So
what do we say? We'll see how this plays out in time.
Yes.
Watching this in 6 months, going, I really seemed confident then. I'm answering collect calls from a Thai jail.
Listen,
you got to get somebody.
One thing I can guarantee is I'm gonna do my best not to come back.
Right.
To the United States. Really, I've come to peace with I'm probably never going to see my mom again. I'm probably never going to see my dad again. You know what I mean? And my kids are all pretty much grown. I mean, my kids are all teenagers now, going into college. So
maybe things go.
If they want to see me, then I'll send them a plane ticket. If they want to come over, I have no problem sending them a plane ticket to come to Thailand. But I have no plan whatsoever of ever coming back to the United States. Like I said, I love it here. Like I said, I don't hate the United States. I love it here. I love the wilderness. I love. The culture was cool up until quite recently, but it's just like, it's too much, man. It's just too much. And I think that there's such a big world out there that it would be a shame not to get out and at least experience it for a little while.
Right.
I
see that.
All right. So by the time we post this, we're not posting this until your first video is
by the time
live.
when this video gets posted, I'll already be over there. I'll already be in Thailand. Yeah.
And so we want everybody to do what?
Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe.
Right.
If you feel like if you feel like the content that I make is valuable.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you're curious, if you're interested in that, because think about it. By the time people watch this, they can go in the description box, hit the link, boom, go over there. You might have 8 or 9 videos already. Yeah,
and I'm gonna try and do my best at telling how much everything costs. Because when I watch the videos, the thing that aggravates me most is like, they'll go out to eat and they won't tell you how much they paid for everything, which I know they don't have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, I'm going to make it a point to be like, okay, because I know the gap in what we're spending here and over there is just so crazy. And I think that, you know, everywhere I go, I'm like, this is how much I paid. This is how much it costs in US dollars.
You'll become one of those irritating people that take a photograph of their food every time but that would be cool. You just pull out your phone and just do a little video of the food. Like, bro, this is what I got. I got a thing of rice. I got this. I got chicken.
Oh, I'm going to do full on restaurant reviews.
Right.
Yeah.
And boom. And then if you go back and do a video, then you can show like, hey, this is what I got. This is how much it was.
Because I'm not a big drug guy. Like, I never really have been my whole life. And I'm not really a big alcohol guy. But when it comes to food, listen, I tell you what, like I know I don't look like I eat a lot, but I love food.
Yeah, he eats a lot.
I eat a lot and I eat giant portions. So when I get over there, I'm going crazy on the sweets. Like, there's so many little street vendors that they make little donuts and candies and cookies and treats, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Hell, who knows? I might be 200-300 pounds fucking come next year.
Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. If you like the video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. Also, leave me a comment and share the video. Also, if you go in the description box, we're going to have all the videos that we talked about from, what were some of the guys' names?
Wayno's Adventures.
Wayno's Adventures.
Mashtag Brady. Keys One.
We'll put some of their links to some of their, I guess, to their channel or their videos,
Their
whatever.
YouTube channel, sure, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put some of the links there too, so you can check those out. We're also, the first link that you're going to come to is going to be John Boseak's channel for YouTube, and we'll do his other social media. So click on those. Please go subscribe. He might have a Patreon set up, so we may have that in there. So by all means, please check out all that content and subscribe to those to his social media and YouTube. Once again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. See ya.